Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's B Plus. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I decided to go live around lunchtime, so I set up a few things, and here we are. Here we are. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time because time is short. 5:30 came quick. I worked the full day today. Been up and after it, and I was like, you know what? 30 minutes would be good enough time for me to kind of switch gears and get behind this camera and talking to this mic, but it was not enough time. So sorry for starting a few minutes late. I want to, as always, check a few things to make sure that we are indeed live. Yeah, we go. So I get a little bit of feedback there. Sorry if you guys heard that. Yeah, so I think we are good. I think we are good. Like I said, I don't want to waste too much time. I just want to go ahead and get into it. For those of you guys that don't know me, I am B plus, and I'm just grateful that you guys are stopping by this particular platform. Um, I have the channel just because I'm a Christian hip hop head, and I host a radio show on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM channel 140 on the weekends. So every single Saturday at 6 p.m., you can catch me over on Holy Culture Radio and Sirius XM channel 140. And this year, one of my points of emphasis is I just want to take more opportunities to kind of share, I guess, what kind of fuels me, what kind of keeps me going. And that's what one of the points of emphasis. But the other point of emphasis is I want to just kind of get into the word more, teach a little bit more. And I've been doing that over on my radio show. So, but today, this is the first time or the first episode of me doing something called Bright Perspectives. Bright Perspective. I can't tell if I'm gonna have an S on the end or not. So Bright Perspective might be it. Well, that's what I have up on the screen. So I guess that's what we're going with. So yeah. So I'm super excited about this because there's a few things that I do. I have touch points throughout the week to help me stay on the straight and narrow because I have a lot going on. I'm still in this flesh. I know there's a lot of believers out there who they got saved when they got saved and they've been good ever since. They don't ever need any type of refreshes. They feel like they need to refresh every so often. I need it every single day. So there's some things that I do. Some people that I lean on. They're like virtually people that I lean on, and also some people here recently in person that I'm starting to build a community here. I live here in the DFW area, so I'm really starting to build some community there. That's been it's been long overdue, but it's right on time, if you know what I mean. So what I want to do with Bright Perspective is find a way to share with you guys the different people that I lean on. I call it my virtual community. There's a number of podcasts that I listen to, a number of preachers that I listen to, and this is somebody that my brother, my blood brother, who um, who lives in Alabama, Huntsville area. He put me onto this guy over 10 years ago. So a lot of people are just now catching wind of Darius Daniels, Dr. Darius Daniels. But my brother, he's been locked in with Darius Daniels for it's got to been over 10 years. Like he was still up in the Northeast. He wasn't even nowhere near moving to Atlanta. I think he was just getting started with. I think it was called Change Church at the time. So I'm talking too much, but he has a community called Daniel's Den. I believe it's called Daniel's Den, where it's just like it's like a leadership type of deal where he builds and pours into people. So what I want to do and what I'm going to do with Best Perspective is just show some clips, show some clips of these different people that I lean on just to help me get through the week, to help me get through the day. A lot of what I listen to, a lot of those things that I listen to, sometimes you can hear bleed over to my radio show. You definitely hear bleed over into my tweets and my Instagram posts and things like that. So without any further ado, like the thumbnail said, I believe actually I made the thumbnail so quick, I don't know what it said. So stop being nice was one of the points that he made. Another point he talked about was leveling up your systems. So those are two of the main points. And before I go any further, I want to shout out somebody who's in my community, Ash. He lives out in South Carolina. So literally, I got homies all over the country. But like I said, I'm super excited that I have some people right here in DFW that I lean on. But Ash, he sent me this last Friday, I believe, and it's been a really rough last couple of weeks. A lot's been going on. A lot's been going on really in the last maybe 4 or 5 months, really. But in particular, the last 10 days have been probably 2 weeks have been extremely rough. But he sent me this in the middle of that, and it just really blessed me. So what I always do when when I come across these videos, I record them on my phone. Well, I'll screen capture on my phone just because I want to have that video for later. So I can just kind of, when I'm winding down for the day, I'm like, there were some specific parts that I really enjoyed, and I just clip them down. I leave them on my phone for up to like a month, and then I just go ahead and take them off. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I prefaced it enough, and you're seeing some of my things I don't want up on the screen yet. So we're gonna go ahead and find, where is that at, and take it off. Let's just do that. Yeah, so that's what this is. This is bright perspective. I think I put an S on the end, and I don't want an S on the end, so I'm gonna clean it up right now. Boom, bright perspective. So what we're gonna do is we are going to hop into this video, and I don't know if I want to do level up or we want to talk systems first. Or level up is the systems. Stop being nice. Let's talk about stop being nice first. Let's talk about stop being nice. So let me go ahead and queue up that video. If you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let me know where you're watching this from. That would be super dope. And I forgot just that quickly which one I was going to do. I think I said nice. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this one first, and let's hear from Dr. Dharius Daniels. If you've never heard of him, he's a dope guy. He's a dope guy. So here we go.
I was at times unconsciously conflating cultural niceness with kingdom kindness. And niceness is a social construct. Kindness is a kingdom mandate. And I was confusing kindness with niceness. And signing up for niceness is signing up for suffering. Signing up for niceness is signing up for exploitation. Signing up for niceness is signing up for being used.
And I know that can sound wild because you're coming in the middle of Darius's conversation, but I promise you he's going to make it make sense.
Because niceness is connected to pleasing. Kindness is connected to serving. And what God has called us to do is to serve, not please. Paul even warns us against pleasing in Galatians. So if you're going to optimize, you can be kind. Did you guys see what I'm saying? So the opposite of nice isn't rude. The opposite of nice is authentic. Oh gosh. Am I making sense, guys? And so when you're nice, you'll let people blow up your boundaries. When you're nice, you'll let people's irresponsibility.
Telling me
I'm saying be mean because we have been.
My internet is telling me that we lost a little bit of connection. So let me move it back to midway. Sorry about that, y'all. I think we are good now. So let's pick up from right here.
Am I making sense, guys? And so when you're nice, you'll let people blow up your boundaries. When you're nice, you'll let people's irresponsibility become your emergency. When you're nice, you will invest before you evaluating whether or not that person is a wise place for you to make an investment. And so what many of us are dealing with in our relationships is this: you're too nice. Oh, see, this is why we got to have a community like Daniel's Den, because people who hear this with the filter of a Pharisee will think I'm saying be mean, because we have been conditioned to think that the opposite of nice is mean. And it's not. Nice has to do with pleasing. Nice has to do with this orientation to give people what they want. And the Bible calls us to be gentle. The Bible calls us to be kind. Come on. Kindly affection one toward another, to serve each other in humility. But sometimes that means I can't give you what you want. Is this okay? Did that hit anybody besides me?
All right, so that was the first clip I wanted to for us to kind of dig into, and this one hit home for me because I have been I've gotten a lot better at it, but I have been a people pleaser. I 100%. I remember the time where God really opened up my eyes as it relates to being a a peacekeeper versus a peacemaker. I thought for the majority of my life I was a peacemaker, but turns out that or I thought I was I thought I was a peacemaker, but apparently I was a peacekeeper. I evaded things so I didn't have to deal with tough issues. I avoided tough conversations, and I'm still struggling with that a little bit in some areas of my life, just because I want peace around me. And if you want peace around you, sometimes you just bow and you just kind of do things to kind of please people. And I feel like that's kind of what he's getting at here. Like, and he gave a couple of definitions, and I want to highlight that really quickly. So he said niceness, he presented it as a social construct often driven by a desire to please others. That's what I was just talking about, and maintain superficial harmony and gain approval. That's what I was just saying with me being a peace keeper, as far as it relates to the word of God telling us to be peacemakers. We have to make peace. Sometimes it's going to be abrasive. There's going to be some friction, and he's arguing that we should be kind. And he presents that as a kingdom mandate, which is the biblical requirement rooted in the desire to serve others, and that's reflecting of God's character. So I thought that was really dope. I thought that was really challenging, and it hit home for me, just because, like I said, I was a peacekeeper, and all that time I thought that I was doing the right thing by staying quiet in situations and things like that. And what I was really doing, I was just kind of prolonging the confusion. I was prolonging like this fake harmony, this fake peaceful situation, knowing underneath it, there was a lot of mess going on. So that was the first thing that kind of jumped out to me. So I think that's all I had on that. Actually, let me switch my screens here. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to kind of highlight as it relates to that. I wish I could have got a few more of my notes. I might just pull up my Bible here and go through some of it. So pardon me as I kind of click through my notes on my other screen, and let's see. I think we're good. Let's move on. Let's move to the next one. And that one is let's stop this one really quick. And let's go ahead and get the next video. So the next video is going to be about systems, and this is the one that I really enjoyed as well. So let's go grab that, and let's see where did it go? Boom, there it is.
Here's another one. Refocus on your systems. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, says this: we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. You have to refocus on the systems. The human body is made of systems: cardiovascular system, nervous system, skeletal system, muscular system. We even have in creation, God has a solar system. So God created us with systems, and am I making sense? And so when we look at the way we should be managing our lives, it's going to require systems. Nelson Searcy says a system saves you stress, time, energy, money. That's the acronym. Saves you stress, time, energy, money. Saves you stress, time, energy, money. Sometimes we don't need more strength. We just need the right systems.
So that one particularly hit home for me, just because, like, that's something that, speaking of my homeboy Ash, like, that's something that we talk about a lot. We talk a whole lot in sports analogies. And I'm a hooper, I kind of filter everything through that lens. So the reason why, and I firmly believe this, the reason why I was able to graduate college on time and with a good grade point average is because I was a student athlete. Like, if I wasn't playing ball, like, I don't think college would have been a different experience for me. But just having that regimen of, like, you have to get up early because you have to run in the morning before class starts. Then you have class. Then you have lunch. Then you have film session. Then you have more class. Then you have weight training. Then you have dinner. Then you have practice. Like, doing that for 4 years, like, that forced me to strangely enough focus on my schoolwork because I kind of needed that regimen. And my college coach, like he was a military guy, so like you couldn't be late, you couldn't miss class. There was no like, oh, I'm a student athlete, so they know what time it is. I'm just gonna like not go to class today. Like, no, if he found out you didn't go to class, you and the whole team were running for it, and it wasn't just like something that like you got punished for, like the whole team. So now the whole team is looking at you sideways. So that kind of that system taught me just to that I'm only gonna have a limited amount of time to kick it. I'm gonna have a limited amount of time to get my work done. So I just kind of operated accordingly. And it's funny when I have less going on in my life, that's when I get less done. So like I'll have more time to do things, but nothing gets done. But the more I have a system regimen to my life, um, things tend to go better. So I just love how he talked about how uh, God is a God of systems, like the solar system. He mentioned like all the different systems within our body. Like it's amazing to me, just like how your body would just heal itself. It'll straight up heal itself when you get a scratch, when you get a bump, things like that. You develop a scab. I was talking with my son about this. He got a little scratch, and then he was like, what are these all these black dots on my arm?" I was like, your body's doing its job. The system's doing its job. So I thought that was a dope one as well. So let me keep going. Let me keep going. Let me make sure I don't have I had a couple other thoughts on that. And actually what I want to do is I want to highlight that James Clear quote. So it says, "We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems." And I feel like that's something here recently that like I have a busy life. Like my wife is super busy, I'm busy, the kids are busy, and on top of that, I have the radio show, I have the YouTube channel, and now I have my virtual community, and now I have you adding in like a local community as well. And if I don't have the proper if I don't have proper systems, I'm just not going to flourish. I've learned that at work and how I work. I have to have certain things. Like there are certain tasks that I do at work in certain places. Like I'll go to certain rooms to do certain work. When I'm doing my admin work, I go to a certain huddle room at my job and I turn on certain music and I work that way. If I know I need to spend time with God, I'm going for a walk. I'm going for a walk. I'm throwing on my headphones and it's going to be quiet for like maybe the first half mile. And then I may do my Bible reading for that day. And or I may listen to some great music. So just having like go-tos for me at least helps. Having go-tos when I feel myself, when I feel the system going awry, when I feel things are spinning out of control, knowing, okay, this is like, it's like, again, sorry, basketball analogy, like you have go to moves. I just want to get to this spot. If I can just get to 15 feet and get just a breath of air, I can get off a good shot. But if I'm out here at half court playing around with the ball, dribbling, and not doing what my bread and butter is, my game's going to suffer greatly. Um, so there's that. And I just love that. I love that acronym. System saves you stress, time, energy, and money. It's 100% true. Like that's me at my job. That's me at home. That's me 24/7. So yeah, that's what else do we have? What else do we have? Yeah, that's what we have. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So I have one more. I have one more clip that I really enjoyed. That I really enjoyed, and I will let you guys go. I will let you guys go. So the next clip, it is. Let me get this off the screen. The next clip is what is it about? Trying to because I didn't have it on the thumbnail. So I just thought that this was a well, I'll say this. One thing that I've been talking about a lot on my radio show, YouTube channel, and on social media is about calling your own files. Being able to nobody else can detect something, but you know it's off and you can go to your accountability partners, go to people, go to your tribe, go to a spouse, go to a friend and say like, hey, like I'm kind of suffering in this area. Nobody knows it because I'm able to cover it. But so I thought that this next clip was pretty dope.
An experience I had about this time last year where a guy he's from London, but he was here in America, and he talked about something called satisfactory underperformance and how when a person is a high achiever and a high performer, even when you're underperforming, you're still outperforming most. So, but you know you're not reaching your potential. So this guy called it satisfactory underperformance. It's like it's underperformance, but your underperformance still outperforms others. So in everybody else's eyes, it's satisfactory. It's like, that was amazing. And it's like, I just kind of, pulled that one together. Is this too honest? This is a very vulnerable training. Is this too honest?
I love that one just because it's like it's very true. It's very true. Like one thing about me is I'm a late bloomer. I just found out that I'm a creative, and there's sometimes where I can be in a pinch where I need to deliver something to somebody. This could be at work, this could be this could be anywhere. And I procrastinated. And at the last minute I get like this genius idea, and I'm able, well, maybe it's not a genius idea, but it's a good idea. And I deliver that to whoever I need to deliver it to, whether it's work, whether it's at home, whether it's in the past at church, no matter where it's at. I deliver it, and the person is on the other side like, B, how did you do this? This is fantastic. Like, and I'm sitting there on the other side of the table, like, I did this 15 minutes ago. I did this on the way here. I did this talking to a note on my phone. And then when I got to where I needed to go, I prettied it up, and then I was able to deliver it. So like, so I love this whole idea of how he, well, actually, let's put it up here. Let's put it up here. So he talked about well, I added a little bit to it. So I said this is the core conflict: our external perception, how people view you, versus the internal reality. And you can fake out a lot of people. I mean, some of us can even fake out like our parents. We can fake out our spouses. We can fake out our kids, and they can really feel like, man, like you're doing pretty good. But uh because the other people, they can see the performance and be like, man, like he really put in work. But really, the people who are really close to you, they can sometimes sniff that out. But there's sometimes where they can't even sniff that out. And because what you've actually put out is better than most. And I'll save that. I'll save that. Let's go to the other working definition that he gave. But the internal reality says it calls you call your own files and say, I'm really not, I really didn't put the time, energy, and effort into this, but you guys are looking at this as if like this is the best thing in the world. And I know deep down that I didn't really put all this into it. And you can keep doing that over and over again, and you can kind of start to you can kind of start to feel high on yourself. But again, you have to be able to call your own fouls and say like, yeah, I'm not giving my best effort. It's almost like, and I'm a big LeBron fan. I have been throughout my career, but I'm a realistic LeBron fan. I'm not delusional. He's a 100%. He's a diva. He's a lot of drama. But he can really hoop, and he's been doing it for a long time. So, but there's sometimes where I'm just like, man, like, and I get it now. He's like in this year, what, 21, 22. So, but definitely earlier in his career, I'm like, if you was like a one-time all-star, you had a good game. So I felt bad because I would be upset with how he played in a loss. But I look up and he had 27, 8, and 10. But I'm like, but you're prime LeBron. This is like 2013 LeBron. Like you could have had 40 and made sure you won this game. And it's like that with a lot of stars. Sometimes you just can't play that hard for 82 games. It's just impossible. Um, Even though we like to act like some of the greats of the past, they played 82 games, and they did play 82 games, but they weren't flawless in those 82 games. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, so those are just 3 points. And down in the description below, I do have the full link to this video. I thought it was fantastic. These are just 3 small clips. I thought that there were at least, I could have did this like with 20 other clips in this video because I thought it was really dope. So so yeah, so this is just something new. I'm testing it out. I may just do it one time and you may never see it again. But I watch a whole lot of the let's just say I started watching a whole lot of stuff just because I am a nerd. I do enjoy seeing hearing other people's perspectives. I do love learning and things like that. I just didn't like school, but I love learning. And for the longest time here in living down here in DFW, I didn't have a community. So I just kind of relied on virtual community. So I got into a habit of watching a whole lot of videos like this just to kind of encourage myself, make sure that I'm on the right path and things like that. So I'm excited to find a way, or I'm still looking to find a way to use that more and to share with you guys what's kind of fueling me. And encourage you guys and put you guys on to different talks out there. So with that being said, if there are some videos that really help you and kind of getting some structure for your year or your creative process or your creative writing, one thing I'm really trying to work on right now is work on storytelling. My pastor is really good at telling stories to introduce his topics, so I'm trying to work on that. It's part of the reason why I like going live, because I am trying to learn how to just speak better, and just be able to collect my thoughts, get it down on paper, and then share. That's what I'm trying to work on. And I figure going live is a good opportunity to go ahead and do that. So appreciate you guys for stopping by and watching. I know I had a few people over on Twitter. Prove you're not a bot. Go over to my YouTube channel and leave a comment on this video. A few people over on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys rocking with this video. I kept this pretty short and sweet, around 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys back the rest of your day. Oh, one more thing. I do have a video premiering in about 2.5 hours. So at 8:30 Central Standard Time today. Sorry for those who are watching this on playback. Maybe I'll put a clip here so you guys can go watch that. But I am releasing my radio show from last week. So I did a show on Easter. I guess it was maybe 2 weeks ago now, on Easter. And it's called CHH Resurrection. All songs talking about the resurrection. Oh no, talking about Easter. And I believe that there are 5 important aspects of Easter. I know a lot of times we just talk about the death, burial, resurrection, but very important aspects of that preceded and followed that is his life, and then also the ascension. In the middle is the death, burial, and resurrection, but on the outsides we had his life that was very, very important to the story, and also his ascension that was very important to the story. So I have a video dropping in about a couple of hours. Again, if you're watching this on playback, I'll probably just tag it at the end of this video, but check that out. A lot of dope Christian hip hop music, all the music pointed to Easter as well. So some classic Shaolin, some Ambassador, Truth, some newer joints by Mike TZ, Triple E, things like that. So hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll do a few quick plugs. If you don't have the Holy Culture Radio app, make sure you change that today. Hit the QR code on the screen. 24/7 Christian hip hop. If you are not following me on IG or on Twitter, I have the same exact handle. You can hit the QR code here for IG, or you get the QR code here for Twitter. I can be found at DJ_B_plus. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. A lot of times people watch, but they are not actually subscribed. So you actually get what's the word I'm looking for? Referred, or I'm in your feed to check out, but you are not indeed subscribed. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. And I think that is all. That's all I got. So you guys have a fantastic day. Again, let me know if there's other videos, other like your favorite teachers, podcasters, preachers. Let me know what those are in the comment description below. And I'll try to refine this and maybe try to plan it out better so I can actually throw some scripture up here, because I did have some scripture jotted down over here, but I want to oh yeah, there's just like a lot of good scriptures here in Proverbs that are kind of nailing down some of these points, but want to be short and brief. We are at 30 minutes, so I'm gonna give you guys back the rest of your day. So I am B plus, and until next time, peace in, confusion out, and be positive.